Had someone ask me this today. I had a question. How much time do you spend washing trays, looking at your stacks running, how long it would take to pay off a restaurant-sized washer to clean them versus hours spent doing it by hand, plus it heat treats and kills everything left in the trays like mite spiders on the underside. I've got that up there on the black screen. I'll take it, or green screen. I'll take it away in just a second here. But I've looked into this a little bit. It's just not as high of a priority. So I just washed trays today, so this is interesting. Probably from my previous video today where I said I was probably going to wash trays, but you can see water all over my face. But I did look into it a little bit. And what I found was the size machine needed was ridiculously overpriced. Tens of thousands of dollars. That being said, like what was mentioned here, a restaurant style dishwasher that could, what I would envision in my head when I hear that is the things that doors go up on the side, you roll stuff into it, you turn it, push it, close it down, and then it does its spraying and cleaning. It's got a heat element on it so that it does it with hot water and ideally has a soap pump system hooked into it so that it puts in a spritz of whatever cleaning solution you'd like to use. That being said, I don't think it's worth it for many reasons. So I'm going to bash on a little bit, and then I'm going to go through where it becomes more beneficial, I think, in the future. It's not a high priority for me right now. But I just did trays, an hour and 20 minutes, so that's 80 minutes. And I got to go count the trays so I can see how many I did. And that's not a super efficient process for me because, as many of you know, I don't have running water in this building. And so I have to walk over to the farm next door on the property that I'm at here, hook up a water hose, and bring it all the way over here. So let's count trays. All right, I've got 82 trays washed and cleaned here. These other stacks over here were already cleaned, so they didn't count. I just counted the clean ones I just did. 83, so 80 minutes, 80 trays, about a minute a tray is what I would call that. And that includes me taking a walk over to the other buildings here, unhooking the watering that was hooked up over there because they're using it too, and bringing that water over here and then going through everything. So that probably cuts off another 10 minutes because when I'm done, I'm going to take it back and hook it all back up so that I'm not causing anybody any issues over there. So make that, what was that, 10 minutes, make that 70 minutes for 80 trays. So less than a minute a tray. What I would envision is, so the other thing is that doesn't include soap, but I haven't had an issue with that yet. These trays clean very easily. The one thing I don't like is the water gel crystal residue buildup, but my long-term plan is to get rid of those. So that goes away. And once you get that residue wet, it cleans off very easily. We use a mesh bag, one of the mesh bags I actually ship with. We use one of those to clean the tray. So it's not abrasive to the tray, and it allows us to get, sometimes there's eggs on the bottom of those trays, sometimes there's just gunk from the water gel crystals, things like that. And so it works really well just to clean that out real fast. From a manual labor perspective, I would say that if I had something where I was, it was at, table height and I was opening it, throwing a couple trays in, closing it, running a cycle, I would argue that cycle is probably going to take a minute a tray. If you get more than one tray in there, great. So that's going to reduce the time a little bit. But I don't feel like that's going to be as efficient as me just hand washing everything and then hand spraying off everything. So the bacteria spiders thing hasn't been a problem. So we spray the outsides off with the hose with a sprayer jet, and it power washes or cleans off just fine. Haven't had any issues with trays coming back in with spiders on them. What else? It feels good to physically do work. I don't have to go to the gym today, but to be honest, I haven't been to the gym in like 3 months because we had issues around here with folks that couldn't come in and work, and so I was in here working, and I haven't gotten back into that routine yet because a couple other things going on that I can't talk about. Not yet anyway. So this is my workout. I just spent an hour and 20 minutes bending, moving, flexing, sweating, got my heart rate up, cardio type stuff. It feels good to do that. Feels good to accomplish that. I don't know how else to put that other than it feels great. I might be a little sore later, but it's become part of my routine that I really enjoy, is the physical aspect of this occupation. And I think to some degree with a dish machine you would still have that, maybe less. I mean, you're still going to be stacking, unstacking, moving, but it's probably not going to be as fast paced. And it's that hour and 20 minutes wasn't me busting my butt. Like, I still have things to do tonight. I got to help with dinner. I got to help with other things at home. I need to have my home life. I need to be able to sleep well and not sit there and be sore, be cranky. And so I wasn't like busting it. I was just listening to music, cleaning, having a good time. Not to say you couldn't do that with a manual dishwasher, but just saying it wasn't like that hour and 20 minutes was me, clocking it. I think if you want to get into a standard employee scenario, I'm the owner, so I'm going to bust it harder than anybody else because I'm trying to make this happen and it's mine. But the folks that have worked for me bust it as well. They're good people. But I probably do it a little faster because I have a whole bunch of other things going on that I need to get done. But that's my motivation. That's my fault because it's mine. So you can't say that hour and 20 minutes was inflated or underinflated or whatever. I'm getting a little tired and it's late in the day on a Friday, but I don't think that that's an inaccurate time estimate, a minute a tray. There's another, from a cost perspective, so let's talk about cost, from an employee cost perspective. And paying somebody that hour and 20 minutes, minimum wage is garbage, don't go to minimum wage, so let's do $25 an hour. At $25 an hour, and that's not what I pay myself, I made a whole video on employment and whatnot. I have uploaded it to YouTube. I haven't published it yet. I need to get a couple things squared away. I'm gonna get some help from a fellow creator to see if I can polish it up a little bit. But I won't go into too many details. But let's pretend $25 an hour. So that hour and 20 minutes was just 25. 1/3 of 25 is 8. So you're at 33. So let's say $35. So it would have cost me $35 to pay somebody to do that with livable wages. Again, you can argue about that all you want. I don't feel like buying a dishwasher is worth the hassle, the problems, the training, just to save on a little bit of that labor. So the other issue with having a piece of machinery is if it breaks, we're going to be doing it the manual way anyway. I have to train somebody on how to use it. I have to maintain it. And I have to have it sitting somewhere around here taking up space that is super valuable. It's not there yet. Even as I expand and get more of these trays in here, I'm going to be hard pressed to be convinced that a dishwasher of some kind is going to be beneficial for what I'm trying to accomplish and how I'm trying to accomplish it. That was a very long-winded answer. Lots of questions maybe, but let me know.